Yum. This is an iced peppermint mocha. A lot of people don't like iced peppermint mocha. I do. This one's from McDonald's. I don't know. It tastes really good. So, I got a great story. So I wanted to tell this story. I'm on my way to my podcast right now. And I wanted to tell this story. I told it on my podcast because it's a really interesting story, and it's a 100% true story about my encounter with a police officer right out here by where my mom lives. And I'm glad my mom's not coming out yelling again like she did in the other video. Okay. So, and somebody, it might, resonate with somebody. I am in no way, shape, or form ever going to bash the police officers. Some police officers have been really nice to me, and some have not. I'm just going to be honest. Some have been wonderful, and I remember when I was going to college, I got stopped, a total BS. There was no reason to stop me, and he said that my car matched a description of some silliness. It was ridiculous, and so I personally took it as a race thing, me personally, because he kind of flashed the light in the car and then looked at me, and I'm like 18 at the time, and I was really scared, and then he just said, go home. It was really weird. It was like I was on my way home, dude, from college. It was so stupid. So I never forgot that. Anyway, so there was a time, this was recently, and I went to court for this, and I won, and I'm very excited because for those people who are always worried about fighting tickets, I really do feel like it is worth it. I do feel like it is, because most of the time, in my cases, to be quite honest, the cops never showed. There was one time, there were 2 times actually that cops showed, and I still won. The judge believed me. In this particular case, it was going to be a real sticky. It was a he, she said. This is what happened. So I'm telling you right now on everything. I did not have my phone in the car. I had no phone in the car. I left my mother's house. By my mom's house, there's a store that I wanted to go to, a grocery store. My phone was plugged in her house. I was going to run to the grocery store while my phone was charging and run back. So as I was driving and I was at a stop sign, I pulled out my wallet and I was looking through how much money I had, and I had my wallet, on my lap, anyway, so I had my wallet on my lap, and I probably had something else on my lap. I can't remember, but it was definitely my wallet, and I was searching through it, and then I see this police officer come behind me and stop me, and I was like, what did I do? And he said that I had he saw me with my phone. I said, I don't have a phone. And he said, by the way, I'm recording this. I said, well, really, I'm glad that you're recording this conversation. I do not have my phone. Since you're recording this, I give you permission to search myself, my car, contents in the car. There is no phone in this car. None. And he said, I know what I saw. And so I was mad because he called me a liar. And I will say this about the cop. And a lot of people said this to me. I should be grateful that I walked out of the situation alive, because I did mouth off at the cop. Because I said to him, hold on a second, you're calling me a liar. I said you can, and he's recording this. I said, look in my car. There is no phone in this car. There's none. It's at my mom's house. You want to go to my mom's house? You can see my phone. It's in my picture. My phone's at my mom's house. Did not want to listen to me. Nothing. So I said, is this a quota that you have to fill? Or is this because, and this is when the fight started. I said, is this because in this particular area, and I want to say this with all due respect, and I do not want to sound like a racist. And some people are going to say that I'm going to sound like a racist, but I'm not trying to. It was a fair question. I said, is it because the area in which I'm in right now, there are not a lot of people like me in this area, and so you feel threatened by that? And so he was like, oh my God, I'm serious. It was like, it was just the gasp was just like insane. He was crazy. He asked me what my nationality was. I told him. He said, I didn't even think you were that. And I said, okay. I said, so then why are you stopping me? Because there's no phone in this car. And he called me a racist. I said, well, you're the racist. You're the one stopping me. And I said to look at my car, and there's no phone in the car. It was really funny. So we were going back and forth about who's the racist. Was it really him or me? It was like out of a comedy movie. And then he said, well, are you done, ma'am? I said, I am. I'm gonna see you in court, because I did not have a phone, or I do not have a phone in this car. I'm gonna see you in court. He never showed up. And I even had, so when I was so upset about that, because the one time that I really didn't do anything, I get busted. He never showed up in court anyway. And the only proof I had was my Verizon records that the last time the phone was used was at 8 o'clock in the morning. It shows like what text messages you do or what phone calls. It was at 8 o'clock. And then the time after, the next time I used it was afternoon, like afternoon. So the time that he had stopped me was at 11 o'clock. So I went to the store, and then I went to my mom's house, and then she was not home. So then that's when I got back to her house. I called her, and I called my daughter and my boyfriend, and told them what happened, because I just couldn't believe what happened. But I got off of that ticket, but it was just really interesting. And I will say this. One thing I did put, I don't even remember the officer's name. I did put on Facebook that I was grateful in this respect. I know this is going to sound really strange, but he let me vent. It wasn't a 5-minute ordeal. It was like a 15-minute ordeal of us going back and forth. He was really offended by me asking him, number one, if this was a quota, and number two, is it because there's not a lot of me in the area? Is that why he's stopping me? It was a fair question. I was not trying to be racist. It was a fair question, because I could see if he stopped me, if I really legitimately had a phone and I was trying to argue with him, I could see that. Okay, I did not have the phone, and I gave him all the permission in the world to search me, my car, and my purse. There was nothing here. He could have searched everything. So I felt that was a fair question and not a racist question, but he said I was a racist. And I was quite offended by that, because I am not at all. All right, guys. There's a traffic jam, and my friend's going to be mad because I'm late to the podcast. I should have been there 10 minutes ago. Oh, there's a police activity up here. Well, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my peppermint latte. Hey, tomorrow is New Year's Eve. Hope you guys are doing something fun. I'm headed to Palm Springs for the night, then I'm taking my butt to Vegas, and then I'm going to start the new year off when I go back